Good morning, everybody. It is 9:30, so I will call the meeting of the Human Services Committee to order. Karen, please call the roll.
Chair Swarzy,
Here.
Member Childress, Member Garcia, Member Desart,
Here.
Member Galassi,
Here.
Member LaPlante.
Here.
Do we have any comments from the
Public
public?
comment.
Okay. I just want to comment on the email that you guys received yesterday on my behalf regarding our DuPage Care Center Valentine's Balloon fundraiser. Just a reminder, the deadline to purchase balloons is February 10th. And there are volunteer opportunities for the members of this committee to both fill balloons on the 13th at 1 p.m. and to deliver balloons on the 14th at 9:30 a.m. Do any of our members have any comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes, the Human Services Committee minutes from the regular meeting, Tuesday, January 16, 2024, item 240571.
Second.
Motion and second, questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to community services, I'll take a motion to approve FIR 2724 acceptance and appropriation of the community project funding environmental review records program plan year 24 in the amount of $19,000.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to the Community Development Commission, I'll take a motion to approve 240572, recommendation for approval of a second modification, second time extension of a community development block grant agreement between DuPage County and the Village of Glendale Heights, project number CD 2205, Norton Avenue and East Schubert Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, extending the project completion date through March 1st, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. On to our many budget transfers. I'll take a motion to approve item 240573, a budget transfer to transfer funds from the employee medical and hospital insurance account to the benefit payments account in the amount of $1,212 to cover the fiscal year 23 year-end compensated absences expense accrual entry for the IDHS supportive housing grant.
So moved. Second.
Please note that Member Childress arrived.
Thank you for getting that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion to approve item 240574, budget transfer to transfer funds from the engineering architectural services account to the equipment and machinery account in the amount of $18,210 for clear loss prevention, Inc. Amount originally coded to a different line, now correcting line to be made whole for fiscal year 23.
So moved.
This was for additional cameras in various areas at the DuPage Care Center. We have a motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I am going to move to combine budget transfer items 8C through 8N.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion a second. Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I will take the motion to approve item 240575, budget transfer to transfer funds within the administration department payroll from the salary and wage adjustments account, $3,000 to account $3,000 to account the benefit payments account in the amount of $3,000, and to the flexible benefit earnings in the amount of $300 to balance the budget lines that are over budget while salary and wages are under budget in fiscal year 23 for a total of $3,300. These are all DuPage Care Center. Item 240576, a budget transfer to transfer funds within the financial services department from the salary and wage adjustments in the amount of $30,610 and $2,000 from the part-time help budget to the regular salaries budget to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budget to the salary and wage line as directed in fiscal year 2023, but paid out of regular salaries for a total amount of $32,610. Item 240577, a budget transfer to transfer funds within the dining services department from the salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $70,797 and the part-time help budget in the amount of $100,000 to the overtime account to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted to salary and wage adjustments as directed but paid from the other budget lines in fiscal year 23 for a total amount of $170,797. Item 240578, a budget transfer to transfer funds within the laundry department from the salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $1,200 to the overtime account in the amount of $200 and part-time help account, $700, and the flexible benefit earnings account in the amount of $300 to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted to salary and wage adjustments as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid out of other lines for the total amount of $1,200. Item 240579, budget transfer to transfer funds within the nursing services department from the salary and wage adjustments account, the amount of $522,000, and the regular salaries account, the amount of $291,000, to the overtime account in the amount of $715,000, and the part-time help account in the amount of $8,000, and the benefits payments account in the amount of $90,000, to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted to the salary and wage adjustments lines as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid from other budget lines for the total amount of $813,000. Item 240580, budget transfer to transfer funds within the rehabilitation and therapy department from the salary and wage adjustments account, the amount of $7,000, to the benefit payments payroll budget to balance budget lines where benefit payments are over budget and salary wages adjustments are under budget for fiscal year 23 for a total of $7,000. Item 240581, budget transfer to transfer funds within the recreation and activities department from salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $3,000 to the flexible benefit earnings account in the amount of $500 and the tuition reimbursement account in the amount of $2,500 to balance budget lines with benefit payments are over budget and salary wages adjustments are under budget for fiscal year 23 for a total amount of $3,000. Item 240582, budget transfer to transfer funds within the social services department from the salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $2,000 to the benefit payments account to balance budget lines where benefit payments are over budget and salary and wages adjustments are under budget for fiscal year 23 in the amount of $2,000. Item 240583, the budget transfer to transfer funds within the volunteer services department from the salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $7,600 to the regular salaries account in the amount of $500 and also to the overtime account in the amount of $2,500 and to the part-time help account in the amount of $4,000 and to the flexible benefit earnings account in the amount of $600 to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted and salary wage adjustments as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid from other budget lines for the total amount of $7,600. Item 240584, budget transfer to transfer funds within the inpatient pharmacy department from the salary and wages adjustments account in the amount of $24,595 and other professional services account in the amount of $13,805 to the regular salaries account in the amount of $33,000, the overtime account $1,800, and the part-time help account $3,600 to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA being budgeted to salary and wage adjustments as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid from other budget lines for a total amount of $38,400. Additionally, persons were filled, negating the need for outside staffing agencies. Item 240585, budget transfer to transfer funds within the 421 cafeteria department from the salary and wage adjustments account in the amount of $9,300 to the overtime account in the amount of $8,200, the holiday pay account in the amount of $200, and the benefits payment account in the amount of $900 to adjust to shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted to salary and wage adjustments as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid from other budget lines for a total amount of $9,300. And finally, item 240586, the budget transfer to transfer funds within the house. From salary and wage adjustments, the amount of $43,350 to the overtime account, the amount of $26,000, the holiday pay account, the amount of $200, and the benefit payments account in the amount of $17,000, and the flexible benefit earnings account in the amount of $150 to adjust for shortages due to the 2% COLA budgeted to salary and wage adjustments as directed in fiscal year 23, but paid from other budget lines for the total amount of $43,350. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Or comments?
I'll bring you water next time.
If you want any
Janelle's here if anybody has any
Right,
questions.
so when we do our budget, we have a salary, and wage adjustment line under each department. We have that many departments. So every department budgets their 2%. We do an estimated 2% every year. So at the end of the year, we have to pull those dollars out of that bucket and put it in the other buckets where we think it would align or where it is needed. In the past, we didn't have, these didn't come to all committee because they were all done within the same department, but with the rules change on how we do budget transfers, that's why they're all coming.
Thank you very
Sorry
much.
about that.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. On to travel, I'll take a motion to approve item 240587, a travel request for the Community Services Manager to end the National Human Services Data Consortium for ongoing training provided by peers, HUD, and HUD technical assistance to support HMIS and continuum of care from April 9th, 2024 through April 13th, 2024 in Kansas City, Missouri. Expenses to include registration, transportation, lodging, and per diems for an approximate total amount of $2,544. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. I don't believe we have residency waivers, so we'll turn it over to Janelle for DuPage Care Center update.
Sure. So 4 North is well underway. We're doing some touch-up painting. They're putting in the ceiling tiles and the curtain tracks. The furniture comes next week. Anyone that comes to help with balloons, we will offer you a tour. So I was going to do a PowerPoint, but I thought you might be in person and that would be really fun to show you. It's very exciting. The difference is amazing and I can't wait for you all to see it. So thank you. I can't say enough of the impact that this will have on our residents. So thank you. We are in the middle of planning for the next floor, 3 North and 3 Center, and also the entrance. So we're literally going to have to move our dementia unit and where do we put that and what that looks like. And we do have a plan and we're doing some strategy meetings starting today. We are not in outbreak. We are starting a CNA class in-house. We've done these previously and we're excited to get those back in process. And we have seen a significant uptick in hiring. So we're pretty excited about it too.
Thanks. Any questions for Janelle? I do have a quick question. So the CNA class, when does that begin?
I don't have the exact date. It depends. I think we have 4 members already signed up. They like to have 7. So when we get enough to actually have a class, but there's a lot of interest. Unfortunately, a lot of our own staff, like housekeepers that want to become CNAs, and we're certainly not going to discourage that. So.
Can you have more than 7 or is that?
Yes. We'd have to check with the Miss Cass who leads the class.
Oh.
We'd have to check with her, but there might be some wiggle room.
Is that open to the public or?
We have in the past, depending on how many internal we have, but I think we might have enough internal. So, yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
On to our community services update with Mary Keith.
Good morning. Just a couple of things this morning. Last Friday, we had the information session for the next rounds of the DuPage Community Transformation Partnership with DuPage Foundation. I think there were about somewhere between 50 and 60 participants. We kind of went over the criteria for both the immediate intervention and the transformational grants. The transformational letters of intent are due on April 19th, and the immediate intervention applications, we're not doing an LOI process for immediate intervention. Those applications are due on the 24th. And DuPage Foundation and as well as us will be, sending reminders to agencies, reminding them of the opportunity. I want to congratulate the community development staff. I think I've spoken to this committee in the past on, there's something called the timeliness ratio that we are measured by. So according to the CDB regulations, 60 days prior to your next program year, you can't have more than 1.5 times your annual allocation in your line of credit. That's to ensure that funds are getting spent in a timely manner. Now, there's a couple of things that create challenge for us. The first is our program year starts in April. We never get our money in April. I think the earliest we've ever gotten our grant agreements is maybe July or August. We've gotten it in September, October. So right there, we're 6 months behind. Then when we get our grant agreements, we've lost the construction season. So we are sometimes it's chasing our tails on CDBG and getting it spent. So that 1.5, we've skirted up there in 1.45 the last couple of years. as of yesterday, or 2 days ago, it was 1.1. So they've done a tremendous job this past year in getting funds out and into the community. So I just want to congratulate Julie Hamlin and Ashley Miller and the whole CD staff. They've done a tremendous job this year. And then finally, next week's finance and board will be the capital applications for the food pantries. You'll remember we set aside $1 million so that agencies could apply for vehicles, forklifts, shelving units, anything to, any kind of capital equipment that would help the efficiency of their operations. So we got $910,000 in applications, so just shy of $1 million. 16 different agencies and 20 some different projects, right? So agencies were able to ask for multiple things. They just had to fill out a separate application for each thing. So
I just have a question on the transformational grants. Can you just remind me how much annually is granted and approximately how many agencies are given grants? And so what that, approximately how much each agency is granted?
I would have to give that off the top of my head. I don't know the answer to that
Okay.
question. So far, we've granted just over 6 million of the 10 million.
Okay.
So there's 4 million left. We have sort of as a committee made decisions when the applications come in of how much we think we want to set aside. I think the plan, Greg, you can, or Paula, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're thinking of maybe another 1 million for immediate and the remainder for transformational.
And the 4 million is for how many more years?
It'll be for 2 years. Well, the immediate will be a 12-month grant. The transformational can be up to 2 years. Agencies, if they want, can apply for a 12-month transformational. Depending on what they're doing, it may not take more than 12 months for them to make whatever modification it is that they're doing. So, and there is no cap. We just ask agencies to be very thoughtful as to what their actual capacity is, because they have these funds, these are ARPA funds, they have to be spent by the end of 26. Yeah, by the end of 26. So, yeah.
Any other questions for Mary?
And if you go to the DuPage Foundation website, they list all of the grants, each agency and how much they got.
And Mary, you said the letter of intent for the transformational grants was April 17th, and then you said
April 19th, April 19th.
April 19th. And then for the immediate grants,
The application is due May 24th.
May 24th. Okay. Thank you. And I did see, I was on that, session, that Zoom session with the potential applicants. And at one time, there was up to 70 people in the chat room. So, the more is better. So. Okay.
That's all I
Thank
have.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any old business? Seeing none, do we have any new business? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in